Hi, this is Greg. Please bear with me before we get to today's podcast. Just want to let you know what is coming up on Monday, along with the boys basketball postseason special right here with Grant Shouse. We have Dave Chanley's reaction to the IndyCar season opener in St. Petersburg. We have a girls basketball state finals recap with Grant Shouse and Michelle Garman. Of course, 1 o'clock every day of the week. We have our daily report with all of our news from high school, college, and local professional sports. And Grant Shouse's reaction to IU's big win over Washington on Saturday. And Hanson Crafton will recap the weekend in the fighting sports. And on Tuesday, we expect to have some big news, like Grant doing our IU coverage. We believe we have a Purdue correspondent, and we look forward to announcing that to you early this week. You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 192.2, our boys basketball postseason special with Grant Shouse. Grant and I go over every single sectional in all four classes, and we make our predictions for all 64 sectionals and predict which 8 teams will go to the Fieldhouse for this year's state finals, and we make our state championship predictions for all four classes.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
We are out here at stage 22. Grant Shouse and I are going to pick every sectional in the state. We're going to go quickly through the sectionals that are least important to us, and then we will talk a little bit more about our local sectionals. And we start in the Class 4A North. We're just going to start with Sectional 1 and go from there. All right, Sectional 1, the favorite is Crown Point. They were regional champions last year. They start with Hammond. Should be an easy road for them until maybe they play Lake Central and the championship. Who is your pick in this one, Grant?
I think it's a no-brainer. They could go Crown Point. They're very well coached. I saw them against Brebeuf back in late December. They're a really good team. They're a team that is probably going to compete in the north half of 4A.
And Portage is the favorite at Sectional 2 at Valparaiso, but they lost to Chesterton last year. Valparaiso, a little bit of a down year, 8-14. It probably comes down to Portage and Chesterton. I'm going to take Portage to win this one.
That one's real interesting to me. That was a tough one for me to pick when I filled out my bracket. I know a lot of people like Portage. They like that Portage Chesterton game could be real interesting. I think whoever wins that game is probably going to go on and cut down the nets, but I'll stick with you. I'll go with Portage.
And that's the first semifinal on Friday will be Portage, 18-5 against 15-8 Chesterton. Sectional 3 is at Michigan City, and a couple of really good teams in this one. South Bend Riley is 17-4. Penn is 14-8. Michigan City has never won a sectional, of course. They consolidated the school, so it's a pretty young
Rogers
school.
And Elston.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And they lost last year in the sectional semifinal to Riley. The defending champion of this is Mishawaka. They are 5-15 and considered the worst team in the sectional. So, who you got, Riley, Penn, or Michigan City?
That's also another what's going to be a real good one. The biggest drawback for me is due to the fact that Penn is really well coached. Barack Coolman, who was at Valparaiso, moved over to Penn, is a really good coach. I like South Bend Riley in this one because they play. But, man, it's so hard. It's so hard, but I'll go with South Bend Riley, I think.
I'll take Riley as well in that one. Sectional 4 is at Elkhart, and you talk about a couple of really good teams in this one. There are two teams that could end up in the state championship in this one. Northridge is 20-3. They will face Warsaw most likely in the championship game. Warsaw is 22-4. They're both highly regarded. They're both highly ranked. Warsaw is the defending champion. Goshen is 12-9. We probably discount them. Northridge or Warsaw?
I'm going Northridge. Warsaw had a couple players go down with some injury. here down the stretch of the year. They're 22-4, but I think that could play a factor against Northridge, who's also very well coached. But I'll go with the Raiders of Northridge.
Northridge is the pick in that one for me as well. All right, Sectional 5 at Fort Wayne Carroll's interesting. Snyder is a very good team, just beat Marion. Carroll is also, they're 9-14, as is defending champion Fort Wayne North. It looks like Snyder is the favorite in this one, but that's really a 4 team. Whoever shows up tonight's going to win this.
Yeah, and that's such an easy one, right? So easy on the host because it's basically it's a 3-gamer. So
that's right. Most of 4A is now.
Yeah, and they made that. It's like that for a reason, obviously. But I like Snyder to come out of that one. I know that's probably where the route you're going to go.
I'm picking Snyder too. Snyder. I think they're by far the best team. Carroll at home is dangerous. North knows how to win, but I'll take Snyder as well. And then one more sectional in Fort Wayne. It's at Fort Wayne. Wayne is the 2-time defending regional champion. Anderson just won there on Saturday at Wayne. So that was a big win for them. And it starts with Homestead against Huntington North. Homestead's 19-5. Definitely a contender in this one. Southside not quite as good, but they've won 16 games. And the name Archers is awesome. I love their former coach, Greg Taylor, and, of course, Elbert Starks High School. And he was my mentor at the New Sentinel.
I actually got to see Fort Wayne South this year against Marion. They have some really nice players. I've seen Homestead as well, also against Marion. I think it's a 3-boat race between Homestead South and Fort Wayne. Who would you go with first?
I'm going with Wayne in this.
You're going with Wayne?
I am.
I'm going to take Homestead.
Oh, we've got a different pick alert.
I'm going to take Homestead. I like the fact that they're senior driven. I know Wayne is as well, but I like Homestead. They're very well coached. So is Wayne, of course, but I think that one is wide open between those 3 teams. Huntington North is 10-13, but they still are capable of knocking off a team when they can. They're well coached too.
Got a really nice player in
Ethan Zahn.
Couldn't think of his name. Sorry, Ethan. Definitely capable as well. That's going to be the first of many that we're going to pick differently. So I'm not going to announce it every time, but
good.
That time we announced that.
I may have done that on purpose.
Now we are going with a sectional in our coverage area, and that's at Kokomo, one of the best places in the state for a sectional. It's a 4-team sectional, and all 4 teams are capable of winning it. Lafayette Jeff looks like a slight favorite even at Kokomo, but it could go either way. It starts with Jeff versus Harrison. Jeff will be a significant favorite. Then Kokomo versus 13-8 McCutcheon, who just got a really nice win over – Harrison just got a really nice win over Lebanon, which has a nice team. Would you be surprised by any of these 4 teams coming out of this?
No, I wouldn't. But, of course, Lafayette Jeff has the pretty 20-3 record. I'm probably going with Jeff to win this one.
They've also got Alonzo Clausen-Smith, one of the best players in Indiana.
Yeah. But think about Kokomo. They have Zion Bellamy.
And the home court advantage.
Yeah, of course. And in the championship between Jeff and Kokomo, that'll be an atmosphere. The Memorial Gym will be rocking for that. If that 2 plays each other in the championship, that one will be rocking. I love Kokomo's coach, John Peckinpah.
Great coach.
Outstanding coach.
Great freshman and DJ Nash. Got a lot of nice role players.
Barris Moore.
Yes. They're Corbin Hamill. Yeah, Hummel, sir.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're good. I like Lafayette Jeff to win that, though, although I would not be shocked if Kokomo doesn't pull the upset and win it.
I'll take Jeff as well. We don't play favorites just because Kokomo's in our region. We say what we believe. Good. And that's why people tune in, because we have credibility.
Good.
Sectional 8 at Carmel is probably the best sectional in the entire state. It includes number 1 Fishers, which is the defending state champion, unbeaten, and the favorite going in. Again, number 7, according to the Sagarin, number 7 Westfield, they're better than that, obviously.
Yeah, they're ranked 3rd in the poll.
Noblesville is one of the top 10 teams in the state, no doubt about it. Hamilton, Southeastern, Carmel, and Zionsville aren't quite as good, but they're all pretty good. Every team has at least 10 wins. You going with the Fishers in this one, I assume?
Yeah, I like Fishers, but I'm disappointed that they have to play Westfield very first game right out of the gate on Tuesday. That's at Carmel, that place. There won't be a seat available. You'll have to get there early.
But Fisher's Noblesville Championships could be a good one too.
It could, and that's a rematch of last year's. A year ago today, actually, I went to the game. It was a great game. Noblesville nearly won that game. Probably should have won that game. Fishers, of course, went on to win the state championship. The one thing that stands out to me is due to the fact that Zionsville played Fishers the closest out of any team recently.
Good team at Zionsville.
Yeah, and they're 12-12. I mean, look, this is typically a sectional where like all teams are ranked in the top 12. This year, there's the records aren't as good, but those teams are capable. If they were in any different area of the state, they would win the sectional. I love that HSC team. I like Zionsville. I know Carmel's 10-12. They've kind of, I wouldn't say they've had their season derailed, but their point guard, Alex Kudo, great friend of mine, tore his ACL against Bloomington South back in January. He was out for the year, unfortunately. They're kind of young, that Carmel team, but they have the best coach in the state in Ryan Osborne, in my opinion, who I wouldn't be shocked if they came out and upset Noblesville with the roster they have. They're capable of doing it. So that one, I don't want to say it's wide open because Fishers is definitely the favorite, but a lot of noise to be made amongst those teams. But I'm of course going to take Fishers to cut down the nets on Saturday.
Speaking of favorites, whoever comes out of this sectional, you take as the favorite going forward in the North.
If it's Fishers, yes. If it's anyone else, I don't think so, no.
Who else would you put in there? Is Fishers your pick?
Fishers is my pick, but if they don't get out of it, I like Crown Point being there at Gainbridge on March 29th. That's probably what I go with. I think it could come down to Fishers and Crown Point. If Fishers is not there, I like Crown Point to be there. My third pick would probably be Westfield. This is interesting to note as well that if Fishers were to get knocked off in the section, no matter when, they would play, the winner of that section would play the winner of the Kokomo sectional. If it's Lafayette Jeff and they were to win the regional, of course, they host the semi-state. They will not get to play the semi-state at home. In fact, there will not be a semi-state at Jeff that day.
I didn't know that.
If they are in the semi-state, they will not be hosting at all, no matter what. And it's only fair because all those administrators that are working the event should go and watch them. If that's the case where Lafayette can't host because they're playing, that semi-state will be at Kokomo.
Great.
That is confirmed. That will be at Kokomo.
Fantastic.
But that's a little bit of a long shot, so we'll see.
Fishers will be my pick in the North as well.
Okay.
In the Class 4A South, we start with a very good sectional. Sectional 9 at another great sectional venue, the Muncie Fieldhouse.
I've never been there.
Oh, it's a great place to watch a basketball game. Of course, the favorites in this one is the Greenfield Central Cougars, led by All-American Braylon Mullins, one of the best players Indiana's had in a while.
Yeah, and he's probably going to win Mr. Basketball.
If he doesn't,
I'll be shocked.
Yeah. As good as Julius Jeezy is.
Man, looking at this one, I've had my eye on it for probably the last month, looking at possible favorites to win sectionals, but I don't know who I'd pick here. I hope it comes down to Greenfield and Anderson in a championship.
Greenfield, Mount Vernon would be great too.
That'd be great as well.
Luke Ertl against Braylon Mullins would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But also Damian King and a very good senior laden Anderson team.
I'm gonna shock some people here. I'm gonna take Anderson to win this one.
I'm gonna take Greenfield Central, but I wouldn't be surprised by any of the three, Anderson, Mount Vernon, or Greenfield Central, but that's another sectional you and I are picking differently.
Yep.
I'm going to take Greenfield Central, but again, I won't be surprised by any. Watch out for Muncie Central. They're going to play Greenfield Central. They were at home, and they're starting to grow up a little bit. Okay. They're not beating Greenfield Central.
That is true.
They're not beating Greenfield Central, but it would be interesting to see how they play them. Yeah. All right, sectional 10 is at Lawrence Central, another really, really good one. Lawrence North is the favorite, but you can't count out Lawrence Central. You can't count out Warren Central. You can't count out North Central. Tech is not winning this, but the others. And of course, the sectional starts off with Lawrence Central versus Lawrence North. Who you got in this one?
Lawrence North. It always seems like they play Lawrence Central first round, don't they?
It sure seems like
And that's unfortunate. I could see Lawrence North and Warren Central in a championship game if it came down to that. And, well, it wouldn't be like that. No, it wouldn't be that way. So I could see a Lawrence North Central championship at
North Central is going to this championship.
Yeah, North Central, of course you don't want to overlook the opponent, but they're going to be favorites in that game against Arsenal Tech. But I like Lawrence North to come out of this. They're so athletic. They play the right way. Yeah. That's just my pick.
Lawrence North's the pick.
Yeah.
All right, Sectional 11 at Avon is also a good one. Avon, maybe a little underrated at 20-3 when you talk about all these other teams. Ben Davis is also in this one. Pike is a very good team. Brownsburg's the worst team in the sectional, and they're really good.
And they're good.
Yeah, they're really good. So this is one where I think there are 4 games in the sectional, and they could all go anyway.
A good friend of mine is I'd say he's a good friend, but a guy I know pretty well. Steve Lynch is the head coach at Brownsburg. He's an outstanding coach. Drew Shouse, no relation to me. We spelled the last name differently, actually. Those are 2 really great coaches. I love Avon to come out of this. I just think that they're up there with Lawrence North as probably the 2 most athletic teams I've seen all year. I saw Avon in the Hendricks County Championship against Plainfield. I like them to come out of this one. Ben Davis is one because they play a really good schedule. They're 16-8.
Won 4 sectionals in a row.
Mm-hmm. They have maybe the best coach in the southern part of the state, Don Carlisle. I love him. I'll never have the guts to pick Ben Davis.
I'll take Ben Davis.
Okay.
Sectional 12 is...
It's a whole other story off the air.
Okay. Sectional 12 is at Decatur Central. Another one that has a lot of contenders in this one. Not a great sectional.
No.
The best records in the sectional are Mooresville at 12-10 and Southport at 11-10. But there are definitely 6 teams that believe they can win this sectional. Center Grove is the defending regional champion, but they're just 10-9 this year. Who you got in this one?
When I picked this one, I like Southport. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's them. Well, it's not at Southport, but they're 11-11. They've had some good players come through, some that have transferred out. I like them. I wouldn't be shocked if Center Grove came out of it. I think it comes down between Southport and Center Grove, so we'll see. That could be an interesting championship if that's what it came to. Don't count out Mooresville, of course, sitting at 12-11, but I like Southport to come out of this one. Maybe a little bit of a shocker going to the regional.
I'll take Center Grove in that one.
Okay.
All right, sectional 13. Now we're in the bottom region in the state. Maybe the best lately of all of the regions, the last 10, 12, 15 years. Sectional 13 is at Bloomington South. Bloomington South is a slight favorite over Terre Haute North, which is having a really good season.
Yeah.
It's most likely going to be one of those 2 teams, and they will play in the championship game. Who you got?
Bloomington South. I saw them actually Thursday night against Northview, who was a 22-1 team, ranked in the top 10 in 3A,
and somehow J.R. Holmes has them playing well every single year.
He is a great coach, and I was so impressed with the way they coach their guys. They work for great shots. They don't take good shots. They take great shots. And he has an assistant coach, Kyle Simpson, who was the head coach at Southport, who's basically the associate head coach there. And I didn't realize J.R. Holmes is the athletic director at Bloomington South. I didn't know that until I got there. But they coach those guys the right way. Those guys play the right way. I became a fan of Bloomington South basketball on Thursday. I love the fundamentals of the game. I love seeing the players that you can tell have been coached very well. And I like Bloomington South to come out of this. Although Terre Haute North with Coach Todd Wolfe is another good pick. But Bloomington South, I'll take them because they're on their home floor and they're playing really great basketball recently.
I agree. Sectional 14 is at Columbus East, the Orange Pit.
Great gym, by the way.
Great gym. And Columbus North is the favorite going in pretty significantly, but
yeah,
Whiteland, Franklin, Columbus East all have to like their chances. Franklin is the defending champion. They've won 2 sectionals in the last 3 years, looking for 3 and 4. Your pick?
That Columbus East team, they're 13-9, and they have a roster and guys that I don't know how they're 13-9. Like they should be about with Columbus North on that level. And I'm speaking a little biasedly. Coach Renbarger at Oak Hill, his son Braden, great friends with my dad. Of course, Coach Renbarger, friends with our family, but my dad.
Do you have the guts to pick the Olympians?
No, I don't, but I would like to, because his son Braden's an assistant coach there, and he puts a lot of time into it. I know he's going to have them prepared. He's one of the only ones that prepare. But I like Columbus North. That's a great rivalry game on a Tuesday night. It's the only game that night, and get the community to come out. I know there'll be a media presence there, but like you said with Whiteland, don't count them out, because they have a really good player, Ethan Edwards, who's a 6'6" kind of shooting guard, a slash forward, can drive to the basket, very athletic.
Not only am I not counting them out, Grant, I am picking the Whiteland Warriors.
Really?
The sectional.
Okay. Wow.
Sectional 15 is at Seymour, a sectional I am quite familiar with.
Oh, yeah, I know you are.
And this one is Jeffersonville is the favorite. They beat New Albany earlier in this season. Seymour also has one of their best teams in a long time. Those are the 3 teams. Grant, poor Scottsburg.
Yeah.
They ran out of talent, and they got moved up into one of the best sectionals in the state.
Yeah.
Jeffersonville's going to win this sectional, though.
Yeah, but I saw Jeffersonville against Columbus East. Columbus East was down 2 starters in that game. They led a majority of the game. Jeffersonville has 3 Division I players. Of course, Trey Singleton, who's going to be an Indian. He probably is going to be Mr. Basketball runner-up to Braylon Mullins. And they had to come back to win that game. They won on a last-second shot to beat Columbus East. They're
not the same team.
If they play that way, they could get upset.
Absolutely.
With that being said, I'm still going to pick them to win it. But Seymour, very well coached.
New Albany's 18-3 for a reason.
Right, and I saw New Albany and Seymour play each other this year at Seymour in a New Year's Eve afternoon game. It's the only game in the state that day. I thought the Seymour team gave a really good effort against New Albany, but I was sitting there like, they're going to drop a few. So to actually see that they're 16-6 is honestly a little shocking, but I would love to be there at a packed Lloyd Scott gymnasium for New Albany Jeffersonville in the title game. But I like Jeffersonville to win, to come out of that.
Always is. And then the sectional in Evansville has 3 teams that are all about even. Wrights, Castle, and Harrison. Wrights and Castle start against each other. Harrison got the nice draw getting Evansville North. Harrison is the defending champion. Your pick?
I like Harrison to win it again. I picked Wrights the first time, but now I think about it, I like Harrison to come out of that.
I'll take Harrison at home as well. And in the South, I have a feeling that you and I are going to have different teams. I'm taking Jeffersonville to win the South. I like the way they're playing. And they've got the talent, as you mentioned.
You're going to be shocked. I'm going to take them as well.
Wow.
I'm going to take them as well. I'd kill to see a Fishers Jeffersonville. I actually saw that game over the summer.
I thought for sure you'd take Lawrence North.
I want to take Lawrence North. Honestly, I kind of want to take Avon. I'd like to see them again against Fishers. That's a conference game. If they were playing the state championship, that's a conference game. I'm with you. I think Jeffersonville, they have battled through so many things. They've had adversity come their way, and they've weathered the storm many times.
And it's a bunch of good, strong, mentally strong, good kids who know how to play basketball.
And they're well coached, too. I love Sharon Wilkerson. I know he kind of had some trouble at Madison and kind of struggled at Madison, struggled with 1 year at Logansport, but he's come back to the alma mater there at Jeffersonville and made them a state title contender.
Fisher's your state champion?
Yes.
Man, I want to take Jeffersonville.
Yes.
I love Jeffersonville. Fishers has way too many good players.
I think if Fishers comes out of that sectional, like I said, I could see them getting beat. But if they come out of it, and I think they will, nobody is going to sniff them between the sectional and that state championship game.
Probably not.
Until Jeffersonville, I think, could give them a game. I think Fishers is just better. Their guards are better. They're more fundamentally sound than Jeffersonville, so we'll see.
We'll be right back with our Class 3A picks. All right, we look to Class 3A and the North, and we start at the Class Sectional 17. And East Chicago Central is a fairly big sectional favorite in that one. Gary West is also good. East Chicago Central and Hammond Knoll are both defending sectional champions, but we both agree East Chicago Central in this one, correct?
Yep.
All right. Sectional 18 at Kankakee Valley is not a good sectional at all. The best record in this one is 16-6, and they're not even the favorites. That's Hanover Central. It looks like the favorites in that one. Hanover Central or River Forest in this one, Grant?
I'm going to shock you. I'm going to take Kankakee Valley.
Okay. So
because
you're going to take the home team.
I'm a little biased here. One of my good friends is the point guard at Kankakee Valley. So
there you go.
I'd like to see them win it, but I think in reality, Hanover Central's the favorite. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to take Kankakee.
Well, we have different picks then because I'm taking Hanover Central. All right. Sectional 19 is at Plymouth. You don't remember Scott Skiles, one of the all-time great Indiana high school basketball players.
I don't even remember
Plymouth.
Zach Randolph. I'm
From
that old.
From Plymouth, one of the all-time. Braden Smith reminds me a lot of Scott Skiles.
Okay.
All right. However, Plymouth will not be a factor in this sectional. In fact, South Bend St. Joseph's is the defending semi-state champion and probably easily the best team in this sectional. Any other team you have a feeling can win this?
Mishawaka Marion or South Bend Washington. In my opinion, this is the toughest sectional in the northern half of 3A. But I really like South Bend St. Joe to come out of it just because they've been there. They've all been there, but they've been deeper in the tournament with some of those guys. So, but I'll take the favorite St. Joe to win it, but don't count out Marion and Washington.
By the way, the worst team in the sectional is a defending regional champion and lost to South Bend St. Joseph in the semi-state last year. So that is a really good sectional. All right, sectional 20 is at Northwood, and Northwood is really good.
I'm not even considering anyone else. I'm taking that Northwood team. I love their coach. They're very well coached with Aaron Wolf, and they have some dudes on that team that are really good. They had 2 move-ins from Wawasee and the Everingham twins that have just been a difference maker. I wouldn't be surprised they make a deep run.
And I do want to shout out Joe Luce at Tippecanoe Valley. What a season for the Vikings, 18-5 on the year.
Do you know him at Jefferson?
Wherever he goes, that guy just wins. But I am taking Northwood as well. Sectional 21 is at Garrett and Fort Wayne Blackhawk. It was a 2A regional champion last year and a big favorite this year. It's Blackhawk, right?
Yeah.
Sectional 22 is at Bellmont, and this is the first one in 3A involving local teams, and that would be Mississinewa and Marion. It looks like it's Marion and New Haven, the 2 favorites in this one. Norwell and Mississinewa certainly capable of making some noise, maybe even Heritage. Marion?
New Haven.
Oh, he's taking New Haven.
I can't believe it, but I like New Haven to win that one just because Marion has had some adversity, and I just think I've seen New Haven and just they match up better against Marion than any other team. I just don't think Marion is going to be able to match up with New Haven the way they have with some of these other teams. And Marion's playing decent basketball down the stretch, but I just don't think they're better than New Haven.
I'm taking Marion. Sectional 23 is at Logansport, also a bunch of local teams.
That's a tough one.
It is you mean a tough one to pick because there are some
tough
really
one to
good
win.
teams. Yes, absolutely. West Lafayette, of course, is the defending sectional champions. They are 17-6 on the season. Maconaquah is the Three River Conference champion. They're on fire. They're 17-5. Western has had a really nice season. They've lost 10 games.
Love their coach.
A lot of those games have been really good ones. Northwestern is a decent team. Peru isn't bad at all. West Lafayette is the favorite. Who do you have, though?
As much as I want to pick Maconaquah or even Western, I'm going to go with West Lafayette.
West Lafayette is my pick as well. And the final sectional at the north of Class 3A also has some local teams in it. And it will be in the first game, Yorktown against Jay County, with the winner playing Delta. So Delta, big favorite in that. And then we have on the other half of the bracket, the host Newcastle, which has really struggled down the stretch, will likely play Hamilton Heights. Who do you like in this one? That's a wide open sectional.
Who do you have?
I'm definitely taking Hamilton Heights in this one.
I picked Delta in my bracket, but the way I've started to understand things, Delta's kind of on a little bit of a skid here. I'm going to change my pick and go Hamilton Heights.
I really like Hamilton Heights. I like very good coaching. So much depth. You have no idea where it's going to come from. That's a program on the rise, and actually has been pretty good of late.
Oh, yeah.
Class 3A in the South, the best sectional in the South of Class 3A is at Frankfort, somehow in the South. Garin Catholic is a reigning regional champion. Danville is a reigning regional champion. Oh, and let's not forget about Brebeuf, Tri-West, and Lebanon. Man, what a sectional this one is.
Loaded. Loaded top to bottom. That's a tough one to pick as well.
I don't think it's a tough one at all. I think Garin Catholic is the class of this sectional.
I do like Brebeuf in so many. Like I said earlier, I saw them against Crown Point earlier in the year, and Crown Point took them to the woodshed. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to pick Brebeuf to knock off Garin Catholic in the championship. That's a huge rivalry game.
Yes, it is.
And just the way it ended last year with that last second shot, the behind the head pass that was all over social media, on Sports Centers, just unreal. I think Brebeuf's a little more motivated to come out and win that one.
Again, I'll take Garin Catholic. Sectional 26 at Shortridge features the number one team in Class 3A and one of the best teams in the entire state, Cathedral, but also Crispus Attucks, which was number one coming into the season, is also in that sectional. Purdue Inglewood's pretty good, but it's going to come down to Cathedral and Attucks, and those two will meet in the championship game.
I believe, actually, they would meet Friday night.
Okay, Friday night.
And that's unfortunate because that's unfortunate because that would be such a championship caliber game. But I'm with you on that one. I like Cathedral to come out of this one. Even though Attucks is capable, I'm still going to take Cathedral.
All right, sectional 27 at Cascade, not quite as good. Northview is the reigning regional champion, and of course just took their second loss of the season, and you were there.
Yeah.
Northview looks like the favorite, although Edgewood's a great program. You should never count them out.
I'm still taking Northview. They have a great player I like, and Avery Perry, kind of a 6'3" small forward. And I don't think Northview has played as good of a schedule as maybe Bloomington South did the other night, but I still like Northview to come out of that.
Sectional 28 is at Shelbyville. I'm taking Northview too, by the way. Is at Shelbyville, and New Pal is a significant favorite, although Shelbyville's been quite good this year. Of course, Julius Jeezy, one of the best teams in the state, one of the best players in the state. New Pal, definitely a 3A state championship contender. I assume you're taking New Pal on this one?
Yes, sir.
All right. That was an easy pick. Sectional 28 is at South Dearborn. Jennings County, South Dearborn, Greensburg, and Batesville, all about even in this one. South Dearborn has the home court advantage, but this one could really go anyway.
Yeah, kind of a weaker section. It's kind of similar to that one that Southport and those kind
all
of
these really good sectionals in the South.
Yeah,
including the next one.
I like Lawrenceburg to come out and win that one, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're taking a big upset in that one.
Yeah.
All right. I will definitely take Greensburg. That's a program that knows how to win. Not as good this year, but in that sectional, I like their chances. Sectional 30 is at beautiful Charlestown Sports Arena, and defending 2A state champion Brownstown Central lost an all-state player and comes back just as good because Coach
Dave Benner.
Yeah, Coach Benter is a phenomenal coach.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's been winning since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But also in the sectional is a Silver Creek team that is a potential state championship contender. Charlestown is very well coached and should be a factor, as is Corydon Central. Who do you like in this very good sectional?
I think we're going to see a Brownstown Silver Creek championship game, but I like Brownstown to come out of that. Silver Creek is obviously good. They've always been good with Brandon Hoffman as their head coach, but I just like Brownstown and the way they play. I love the way they played last year. Of course, I got to see them with Jack Benner. I haven't seen them without Jack Benner, but just from what I've heard, they lost to Jeffersonville at Jeffersonville, but I'm still going to take Brownstown.
I'm going to take Silver Creek in this one.
Really?
I really like their chances to upset them here. All right, sectional 31 is at Southridge, and Princeton is the favorite. Southridge is the home team and very good at home. That's a nice home court advantage for them. Washington also is very good, as is Gibson. Southern, Vincennes, and Jasper aren't bad. Really good sectional. Who you got in this one?
I like Southridge to come out of this. Home court advantage for them. I like Southridge to come out of that one, although Princeton wouldn't shock me if they came out of that. Washington's 15-7. You don't want to count out them. They have a good coach and Gene Miller. But I just like Southridge. They're 20-2 for a reason, right? So.
Absolutely. And I will take Southridge as well. And in the final sectional in Class 3A, Evansville Central is the favorite. Pretty significant favorite. They open against Bosse, which is 9-14 and has a lot of tradition. Evansville Memorial is also very good. Who do you have in this one?
I'm gonna take Evansville Central to win this. I know
that's the pick.
Yeah, Evansville Central is going to win that. I really like Bosse, their head coach Shane Burkhart, always knows how to win. But Evansville Central, similar to like we said with Southridge, they're 18-4 for a reason, right? So they'd be my pick to win that sectional.
So who would be your championship game?
Coming out of the North, believe it or not, I'm going to go with Northwood to come out of the North again. I could see them in a game with Blackhawk, although they just beat Blackhawk last week. But I like Northwood to come out of that.
I do as well.
Yeah, I'm going to take Northwood, and then out of the South, I'm going Indianapolis Cathedral.
I think you're right. I'm going to take Cathedral as well. It's a little boring that we're taking the two teams. I'm going to take Cathedral to win it all. But, man,
I think
the games down there in the South with Garin Catholic, with Cathedral,
Brownstown,
with Brownstown, Northview,
or
Silver Creek, or and New Palestine with the great Julius Jeezy. Man, those are going to be fun games.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that if you're a basketball fan, the 3A South semi-state is going to be the one to go to.
And we will be right back with our 2A picks. All right, now we are at Class 2A, and we are in the North. And the first sectional is sectional 33 at Hebron. Gary 21st Century is the favorite. Andrean also very good. Andrean 15-8. Gary 21st Century 16-6. Who do you like?
I like Whiting.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm going with Andre, and it seems like they always come out of that just because they play a tougher schedule. I'm going to go with the alma mater of Dan Dockage.
That's right.
Take
Dan Dockage High.
Take the Andre and 59ers to win
That's
it.
right. Dan Dockage High. Sectional 34 is at Jimtown. The favorite is the host Jimmy's, who haven't won one since they won the state championship in 2004, beating Dave Benter's Brownstown Central Braves that year. Yeah. LaVille is the favorite, though, slightly. I mean, LaVille is also a contender in this one, and you probably can't count out Bremen. Winnemac, which has had some really good teams of late. Who do you like in that one?
My bias to pick, I'm going Winnemac because a guy we work with, his nephews play on the team, and he always hypes them up. So it was
good team.
If they're as good as he's saying, which I believe that they are, I'm going to take them. I love their coach, Mike Springer, used to be the head coach at Eastern High School over in Greentown. So got to know him, being in a program opposite of them. But I want to take Winnemac, but I think I'm going to go with LaVille on this. I saw them against Manchester. They played really well against them.
I'm taking LaVille as well.
Okay.
Sectional 35 is at Westview, and Westview is the defending champion two-time defending champion, and a big favorite. We both like Westview.
Yep.
All right.
I like
Sectional
Westview.
36 is at South Adams, and a team I think we'll probably be picking further into this tournament. Fort Wayne Lures is the favorite. Woodland also is pretty good. They have 16 wins on the season. Adams Central beat Tipton earlier this year, yes, and has 15 wins, but we both like Lures.
I do like Lures, but I'd be interesting to see what they would do against Adams Central.
And that game would be
the championship.
In the championship. All right, sectional 37 is at North Montgomery. We have a couple of regional teams in this one. Two. We got Delphi and Rensselaer Central since they're in the Hoosier Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Delphi looks like the favorite at 15-8. They've had a really nice season. Kind of gotten lost in the Hoosier Heartland at the top of that conference, which has been amazing this year. But they look like one of the favorites, Benton Central, from the Hoosier Conference. North Montgomery, Western Boone has a really nice team this year, and Seeger all look like contenders. Who you got?
I'm going to take Delphi. They obviously have the best record. I like the Oracles to come out of that.
I do as well. Sectional 38 is at Wabash, and now we're talking, right?
Yeah.
Manchester is the favorite. Oak Hill is the second favorite, and they're on opposite sides of the bracket. Who do you got?
This one's so tough because obviously you want to take, as a broadcaster where I'm at, you want to take your biased opinions out of it. If Oak Hill wins, I'll be ecstatic. If Manchester wins, I'll be ecstatic as well because really great friends with their coach, Eli Henson, and he's had them playing great basketball this season. The one thing that concerns me about Manchester is that they Mississinawa gave them a game on Friday night. And Oak Hill, the way they would win that is due to the fact that Coach Renbarger and company are so good at making a game plan adjustment from when they played a team previously. Manchester beat them by 40 the second game of the year. And I'm telling you right now, if they play in the championship next Saturday night, if Manchester wins, it's not going to be by 40. I'm not sure it's going to be by 10. I think it's going to be a good game.
By the way, Manchester just beat Rochester by 20 the other night, and I'd be surprised if that's 20 next time.
Yeah, Rochester's no one to overlook either.
Exactly.
I mean, they could upset that Manchester team.
That's what I'm saying.
If it's Rochester Oak Hill, I like Oak Hill, but if it's Manchester Oak Hill, I like Manchester. It hurts to not pick the alma mater, of course, but hopefully maybe this will serve as some motivation towards the Golden Eagles. But I'm going to take Manchester. I hope they can win that one. I hope Oak Hill can win it too, but I like the Squires to cut down the nets for the first time since 1995.
Under the great Mo Smedley.
Yep.
All right.
That's some elite ball knowledge right there, Greg.
That's right. That's my era
there you go.
when I lived here. All right, sectional 39 at Frankton. Lapel is the favorite, I believe, although you can't count out Frankton at home. Also, on the other side of the bracket has 16-win Taylor, 16-win Tipton, and 16-win Sheridan.
Wow.
So I think there was no great draw in this one, as we talked to Kevin Cherry the other night. But as far as draws go, Lapel has to like theirs. And I believe that they're the favorite, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick Lapel.
I'm going to pick Tipton. I think they're playing for something here down the stretch with, Cliff Hawkins.
Not having a lot of more chances to win sectional.
Yeah, just with him getting up there in age, you never know when he could call it a career. So,
right.
And this would be the year to do it. They have a great player in Grady Carpenter. I hope Tipton wins that one, but I want to pick Lapel, but something just tells me to pick the Blue Devils of Tipton.
That could be one heck of a sectional championship game. Sectional 40 is at Blackford. Obviously, Wapahani is the favorite, the defending Northern champions, ranked number one. But their path is pretty tough. You start with
the toughest team. Draw.
You start with an Eastbrook team that's won 8 out of 9. It's proven that it can beat really good teams. And then if they win that one, they play CIC champion Blackford, which is 14-9, has freshman star Mari Leggett, a senior star in Gage Baker. Not an easy path for them, but are you taking Wapahani?
I am going to take Wapahani, but I want to say this about Blackford. I think Blackford will give them a closer game than people think. So, but I do like Wapahani to win that one, but I think Blackford could give them a really good game Friday night. And in the championship for that one, I think, let's be real, Madison Grant's going to beat Muncie Burris. And they're going to play Alexandria on Friday. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't be shocked if maybe Alexandria pulls something out and wins that one. But
wouldn't surprise me at all.
Madison Grant beat them by 5 just a few weeks ago. So that second game will be a good game that I think is wide open to get into the championship. The bad part is that if you got to go against Wapahani, you're going against kind of the monster in that sectional. So
I'm taking Fort Wayne Lures in the north. However, I really like LaPel and Wapahani's chances.
I'm going to go with Lures as well, just because they played more of an elite schedule than maybe Wapahani and Tipton, even Manchester, those teams. But I like Lures to come out of the north.
They sure look like the best team to me.
Yep.
All right, in the south of 2A, Sectional 41 is at Greenfield. Park Heritage is the defending regional champion. They've won 20 games this year, and they're the favorite.
It's actually at Greencastle.
What did I say?
Greenfield.
Okay, well, it's at Greencastle. I was about to say they host Greencastle also has a chance to win this one. And Southmont has 15 wins on the season. Who do you like?
Park Heritage, no question about it. They when that school became a thing and the consolidation of Turkey Run and Rockville, it seems like they just somehow they've always been good at everything. Girls basketball, boys basketball, football, everything. They're good at everything. They've become kind of they remind me of Linton Stockton, the school, in so many ways, and just that they are so dominant in so many sports. But I like Park Heritage to come out and win that section at Greencastle.
Sectional 42, but me too. Sectional 42 is at Park Tudor. Park Tudor is the defending regional champion. However, they're 8-12 this year. Ritter is the favorite at 16-6, but that's pretty close, especially with Park Tudor being at home. Covenant Christian and University also very good and have a chance to be contenders. Actually, Riverside has the most wins at 18, and they're probably the worst team in the sectional. So who do you got?
I'm going to take Covenant Christian to win that one. I honestly don't know much about them, but just from what I've heard, they played the teams like Columbus North that's 19-3 down south in 4A, but I like Covenant Christian to win it.
And I like Ritter to win it. So we have a different pick on that one. Sectional 43 is at Crystal House, and Crystal House is a slight favorite over 3 other teams, Triton Central, Eastern Hancock, and Heritage Christian. The draw was big because there are 4 pretty even teams in this one. And Eastern Hancock really has to like their chances of going into this one and winning the sectional. That's who I'm taking. Who do you have?
I like Triton Central, actually. They have a really good player and a kid named Eli Sego. Sego, however you say it. But he's a really good player. They have a great coach in Mark James, who was at Ben Davis, Barry Meridian. But I'm going to take Triton Central to win that one just because they have probably a more experienced roster in the tournament.
And I'll take Eastern Hancock. I like the competition they played this year. The Mid-Eastern was pretty good for a 2A, Class 2A conference. All right, Sectional 44 is at Hagerstown, and Northeastern 22-1 on the year, so they're obviously the favorite. Centerville had a really good year. They've got a freshman. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name right now. It's a long, complicated name. But they are really good. Also, Shenandoah's had a really nice season. Winchester, great program, pretty good season this year. Who do you have in this one?
Northeastern. It seems like they come out of that one every year, and their coach, Brent Ross, always has them prepared, always has them ready. I think that's a no-brainer for me.
Give me Centerville in an upset.
Wow, okay.
And the future of that program is really bright. And the southernmost region of Class 2A, Sectional 45, is at Southwestern. South Ripley, Southwestern, and Switzerland County are the teams to beat. Switzerland County is the defending champion. Who do you have in this one?
South Ripley. They're 21-1. They have a really good player. Can't remember his name. He's like a 6'9" kid inside. They've been number 1 for most of the year. Got their first loss handed to them just a few weeks ago. But I like South Ripley to come out of that, but I don't think that's a South Ripley team that's going to make a deep run. I could see them getting beat just because they don't play a really great schedule.
Yeah, South Ripley is winning that sectional. Sectional 46 is at Paoli, and Paoli is a slight favorite over a really good Providence program. And Mitchell is having a really good season. They haven't won a sectional since 1997. Who do you have in that one?
I want to take Paoli, but I'm going to go with Providence on this one.
Got to go with Providence.
Yeah.
They just know how to get it done. Sectional 47, you mentioned Linton, but it's at Eastern Green. Linton is a slight favorite over defending champion Sullivan. Also, West Vigo is very good. South Knox has had a nice season. Eastern Green isn't bad. Who do you have in this one?
I'm going to take Linton. I hope they play Sullivan in the championship because Sullivan and Linton they would play on Friday, but they absolutely hate each other, those two schools. I think whoever wins that game Friday night is going to win it on Saturday night, but I'd like the Miners of Linton Stockton to win that one.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to disagree with you just to disagree. I will go with Linton as well. Sectional 48 is at Tell City. Forest Park is the defending regional champion and the big bad bully of that block.
Not against Oak Hill, though.
No, that's right. But of that block, they are the big bad bully every single year. They've had Division I players, state championships. They're going to win it, right? They're fourth in a row.
I hope so. I hope they win a state championship.
No bad. They're going to win their fourth sectional in a row, right?
Good.
Okay. All right. So you're picking Forest Park as well.
Take the Rangers.
All right. We will be back with our Class A picks. All right. We're going to go through Class A pretty fast here until we get to our sectionals.
There's a lot of no-brainers in a lot of these.
Yes, there are, including the first one. Sectional 49 is at Couts. Couts is a huge favorite. Do you have them or Marquette Catholic?
I say that and immediately I'm stumped. But I'm going to go with Couts just because they played at home. And they're kind of always that juggernaut up there in Northwest Indiana in 1A. And they've always had good teams. I remember when they had two sets of identical twins about 4 or 5 years ago that was a great team, and they should have won the state, but ran into Bar Reeve. But that I like Couts.
It's a good team. It's a good team. I'd definitely take Couts. Sectional 50 is at Tri-County. Tri-County is at home and the favorite. However, West Central has had a really nice year with 15 wins, and Pioneer has 13 wins. Who do you like in this one?
I'm going to take West Central. They've struggled over the years, but seems like they've got things turned around. They're 15-7. I'm going to take the Trojans of West Central to win that sectional.
And I'm taking Tri-County. Sectional 51 is at North Judson, and North Judson is a contender, but not the favorite, which is weird. After years and years of them dominating this. Triton is a serious favorite in this one. They're 19-4. South Central, Elkhart Central, as I mentioned, North Judson all look like they're contenders. And I will take Triton.
Yeah, I'm going with Triton.
Sectional 52 is at Fremont. This one is a wide open sectional. Bethany Christian is 10-13. Fort Wayne Canterbury is 8-14. Those are the best teams in the sectional. Fremont 3-19, also considered a contender.
I'm going Fort Wayne Canterbury.
I'll take Bethany.
Okay.
That is a
going Can. I know they've won 8 games. So I'm going Canterbury.
Sectional 53 is at North Vermillion, and North Vermillion is a slight favorite over Central Catholic, which just took an ugly loss to Lewis Cass the other night.
Yeah, I'm just going to stop you there. I'm going with North Vermillion.
I'm going with North Vermillion as well. Sectional 54 at Clinton Central should be a really good one. It starts with Clinton Prairie versus Carroll. Rossville also has to be considered a contender in this one. Who you got?
I'm actually going to that game Wednesday at Clinton Central.
That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. I talked to some guys at the state finals yesterday. They were going, and I'm like, I'm going to be off that night. I'm going to go too. So we're going. I think I'm going to meet up with them there. But I'm just going to tell you right now, whoever wins that game is going to play at Gainbridge Field. That is the 1A semi-state championship, and it's in the first round. And it's unfortunate it's in the same sectional. And I just don't know who to pick, but my gut tells me Clinton Prairie. I pray and hope it's a great basketball game.
I'll take Clinton Prairie to win this sectional. I'll take Clinton Prairie to win the North.
I will too.
Sectional 55 is at Southwood. This is one that literally 6 teams could win, but I'm just going to go ahead and take the home team, Southwood. I think they have the best player and the home court advantage.
They do. They have the home court advantage. Daleville upset Madison Grant the other night, and Tri-Central is another capable team as well. I think so is West Dell. I mean, they have a really solid player.
So is Northfield. Cowan has some nice young players. There is not a
North team. Miami is improved.
Southern Wells is the only team in this that can't win it.
Yeah, and the thing is that I know it's not a great looking field because of the records, but it's so wide open. But
it's going to be fun.
I like Southwood to win it.
I'll take Southwood as well, as I said. Sectional 56 is at Blue River. Monroe Central looks like a slight favorite over Seton Catholic. Cambridge City's also had a pretty good year. Who do you have in this one?
Monroe Central.
I'll take Seton Catholic.
Okay. That wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. Sectional 57, we now move to the south, and this is one of our local sectionals. It is at Purdue Broad Ripple at the old Broad Ripple High School. Mm-hmm. And the favorite is Liberty Christian. Pretty significant favorite. They were a semi-state championship team last year, a semi-state championship qualifier.
Yeah.
And have a lot of their players back. They are loaded with sophomores. However, Anderson Prep is 18-5. Their record coming into the season was 6 wins. They've won 8 in a row, and they look fantastic. You also have to consider Tindley, a former state power. But who you have in this one?
Who do you have?
I'm going to take Liberty Christian, but I think it's going to be very close.
That's what I was going to take, too.
I would love to see that championship game between Liberty Christian and Anderson Prep.
Yeah, this schools aren't very far apart, and they're going to drive to Broad Ripple to play a championship. So hopefully that's the case.
Liberty Christian beat Anderson Prep in overtime the first time. The way Anderson Prep is playing, I would not be surprised at all if they win that. It's been a magical season at Anderson Prep all the way around. They've never won a sectional game, Anderson Prep. That is going to end on Wednesday. They play Indiana Def, who they just beat by about 1,000 points. So
I'm taking Liberty Christian, though.
Oh, you're taking Liberty Christian as well. All right. I think 3 just really outstanding sophomores for that program.
Yep.
Sectional 58 is at Indianapolis Lutheran, and it looks like Metropolitan is a slight favorite over Greenwood Christian and Indianapolis Lutheran. Who do you have in that one?
Providence Cristo Rey is the most improved team in the state. They won I think they won 6 games last year, maybe less than that, and they're 18-7 now. So either they got some move-ins or guys really worked in the offseason. And I can tell you this, and they'll probably hear this and I'll get a phone call and get punched, but I don't think it came from just improving overnight. They probably had some move-ins, and that's just the way it is. But I like Indianapolis Metropolitan to win this. I remember when they won the state championship and had 6 guys on the roster.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Greenwood Christian.
I'm taking Metro.
All right. Sectional 59 is at Edinburgh, and the favorites in this one, there are about 6 of them. North Decatur, Waldron, Edinburgh, the host, Lancers, Tri, Morristown, South Decatur, Knightstown, Southwestern, all have to feel like they have a chance to win this one. Who do you got?
Tri High. Take the Titans at Tri High.
All right, I will take Edinburgh. I like their home court advantage.
Nice.
I love that little town.
I'd love to go to that gym. You ever had the Tenderloin there?
No, I have not.
I've heard it's good.
All right, Sectional 60 is at Milan. Hauser is going to win this one. You don't disagree?
Nope. Hauser, the Jets.
That's right. Sectional 61 is at White River Valley. Clay City is going to win this one. You don't disagree with that, do you?
Nope. I got Clay City going to the 1A state finals.
All right. Sectional 62 is at Lagodi, and this is the best sectional in Class A most years. Mm-hmm. It's got Orleans. It's got Bar Reeve. It's got Lagodi. All 3 teams. A championship contender every year. Who do you have in this one?
Before I get my pick, the first thing I got to shout out the Medora Hornets. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
You've seen that movie?
Yeah, of course,
it's a great movie, and it tells a great story. And to see that they're having success now, I know 14-8, some teams don't like that. Medora and those kids in that town, in that little school, they will take a 14-8 record, and they'll be talking about this one. They'll be talking about this season for years.
And they're going to lose to Orleans by about 40 points.
I know. And I love Orleans to come out of this one. As much as I want to pick Bar Reeve, who's the powerhouse, I'm going to take Orleans. It's their time. They're due under Tom Bradley to go win the sectional. And
I like I like Orleans as well. Great coach, like you said. And I really like their chances of getting to state. but I am going to take the Hauser Jets to be the South representative in Class A.
I'm taking Clay City.
You're taking Clay City, and who is your pick to win Class A?
Clinton Prairie and Clay City. Ooh, man. I'm gonna go with Clinton Prairie.
I'm going to take the Gophers as well.
Yep.
Love the way they've been playing.
They have
Love
a great
what the
player,
other
Jake
coaches,
McGraw.
Love what other coaches have been saying about them and the praise that they've been heaping on them. Thank you so much to Grant Shouse for making the drive to beautiful Elwood, Indiana in Stage 22 to do a couple of segments for the Central Indiana Sports Report this weekend. Loving our relationship with Grant Shouse. You can listen to his games on the Action Sports Network. Also, he can be heard all the time on the Central Indiana Sports Report talking about high school sports and IU athletics, men's basketball, women's basketball, baseball, softball, football, whatever's going on at IU. We will have Grant on to talk about it. And thank you for listening. Please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're doing a lot of cool things over there. And tell a friend about the Central Indiana Sports Report. Always appreciate it. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.